If you haven't got you some, go get you some. Go get you some God, okay? Alright, hey y'all, it's your girl, Everything Me and Sims, back again with another video. Yeah, so today's video is just going to be 10 things that I've learned this January. I'm spending time with God, getting closer to God. And like I told y'all already know, we've already had this conversation. I'm letting you guys in on the things that I think are most important in my life. You know, more family vlogs, family content, more makeup tutorials, because y'all know I'm gonna come with big face. Period. Okay? And I gotta talk about these lipsticks. I completely forgot about them, but we're not gonna talk about that right now. I'm gonna probably do that in a separate video. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to talk about that, like, you know, this whole little makeup tutorial or whatever, what I've been doing lately. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that. But yeah, like I said, I'm letting you guys in on things that I think are most important in my life. And January, for 3 weeks, I spent time with God, and I'm going to let you guys know the most important things that I've learned this past January. So if you're this far into the video, don't forget to hit like, comment, subscribe, join the goal. Gang, we lit over here in this old period. Sis, if you ain't got no goals, set some, achieve some. The time is now. If you needed a message or a memo, it's me. Let's get it done. 2023, we're coming after everything that God has ordained for us, and don't you ever forget it. So yeah, y'all, let's get into the video. Let's get into the things that I've learned this January, spending time with God. And I just want to share some of these things with you guys, just simply because I feel like they could bless you. And 2023, we're go gang. So we're going to be living the blessed life. That's just on period. Like, I'm dropping keys. Some of the things that I've learned, just some of the things that I've learned studying myself, and some of the things that I've learned being in church. So this past January, we were in church on we were on Zoom on Monday, in actual church on Tuesday, break Wednesday, Zoom again on Thursday, church Friday, and then church on Sunday. So it just was crazy. The month of January was just all over the place, but I can honestly say I enjoyed it. I learned a lot. I heard from God a lot this past January. And it just was simply amazing, guys. Like, simply amazing. If you haven't got you some, go get you some. Go get you some God, okay? Get you some. But let's get into the first thing that I've learned, or the most important things. I don't know if I want to say the first thing that I've learned. No, I'm not going to say the most important things, but things that I have learned, because these things that I have listed, I did not at all know, okay? Like, I'm not going to say like I was born and raised in the church, but I definitely was brought up in church. And this is the first church that I've been at that's not a part of the politics, the drama, the antics, where everybody's loving God, okay? That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to achieve getting closer to God, fellowshipping with God, and just living what it is that He has ordained for us. All of these things that I'm going to be talking about are the things that I have learned this past January. So number one, the first thing that I've learned is, in order for your thoughts to align with God's will, you must trust the Lord. And trust is a requirement for faith. So I just want to say, I'm one of those people, okay? Last year, I don't think I was trusting the Lord as much as I need to or needed to, okay? For me to get to the next place in which I needed to go, because, you know, like I said, faith is, or trust is a requirement of faith. You can't necessarily say you have faith if you're not trusting in the Lord, because you have to have faith to follow what it is that He told you to do, even when it's not making sense. My apostle likes to say, we're not making sense, we're making faith. So yes, you have to be able to trust the Lord, no matter how crazy it sounds, no matter what it is that He tells you, you have to trust it, even if you can't see the fruits of it just yet. You just gotta know He got a plan. It's a plan always. Also, sorry y'all if y'all hear that loud, that ruckus downstairs. That's my husband. I think he's making a smoothie. He was, you know, cooking us dinner and stuff, but he got me from the store. He got me some cupcakes, y'all. But neither here nor there. But yes, that's him downstairs making him a smoothie and making us dinner. So the second thing that I've learned during the month of January, spending time with God and, you know, just fellowshipping, is patience truly means being the same consistently, being moved by what you know and not necessarily what you see. So this is, I feel like patience is so important in your faith walk, or your walk with God in general, because a lot of times you're not going to see the fruits of your labor right up front. and you have to be patient and not switch up. Not, you know, like, for instance, I have not seen fruits of my labor of this social media stuff for going on 3 years, guys. I started creating YouTube videos in 2019, in July of 2019, I believe, and I've switched up my content so many times. I've went so many directions. I've done so many things, and now is the time in which I'm seeing, you know, small fruits of my labor, just a few fruits, okay? But I needed to be patient. And patience means being consistent, being the same no matter what is going on. So no matter what went on, no matter how many views I got, I still was the same consistently. I was like, okay, you know what, Lord, I gotta put the content out. I gotta do it. Cause, you know, if I'm not doing it, who gonna do it? And yes, you need to be moved by what you know, and what you know is what God told you to do. And I know for a fact that God told me to do this. I know this, okay? So I have to be moved by what I know and not necessarily what I see, because what I see is, it could trick me out of my promises and my blessings every time. Number 3, fear, anxiousness, worry, etc. comes from you not being plugged into the Lord. Like basically you being unplugged from hearing him, from his word, all of these things. So I used to find myself in the beginning of 2022 very anxious, very overwhelmed all the time, just very worrisome. And now, I'm not gonna lie, guys, since I've been reading the word, and I know what it is that his word says, and I know his word to be true, I have been less worried. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I've just been like, well, whatever. It's a, you know, God's got a plan. I ain't gonna worry about it. Like, just recently we had to get our car fixed, and repairs were well over $1,000. And it just was like, okay, you know, not gonna worry about it. We had to drive a rental and everything. And then when we went to go pay for everything, it ended up being almost $300 less than what we expected it to be. So it's just like, you know, just when I don't think he's going to make a way, he always makes a way. So being plugged into the word and hearing from him consistently, that has been a lifesaver. So if you're fearsome, anxious, worrisome, all of those things, probably because you're unplugged. You gotta plug in. You gotta plug in, okay? Number 4, my apostle said, if you pray, you won't quit. If you quit, you won't pray. So basically he's saying, or what he said and that stuck out to me was, when you're praying, you can continue doing it, what it is that God has called you to do, because all of your strength comes from the Lord. But if you quit, you're not doing what it is that the Lord has called you to do. So you don't need his strength. You're not calling on him like you need to. So yes, well, let me say it again. If you pray, you won't quit. And if you quit, you won't pray. Number 5, when my apostle said this, I was like, y'all, this is it. He said, Satan brings distraction, but God uses it for instruction. So a lot of times we're like, oh my gosh, you know, like the devil is throwing this my way. The devil is throwing this my way. But a lot of times, you know, just as well as the devil is throwing things your way to throw you off your course, that is also God trying to speak to you like, hey, you know, because the devil cannot attack us without permission. And if we're out of God's will, that's just what it is. You know, like you're free game at that point. But the Lord can also use that for instruction, to open your eyes for you to see, hey, I need to do this more. I need to do this more. I need to fellowship more. I need to fast. I need to, you know, he's going to use those distractions for his next instruction. Number 6, when God comes, let him find you doing what it is that he's called you to do. So basically what that means is, and this was so powerful to me, guys, a lot of times we get discouraged in the things that God tells us to do simply because we're not seeing the results that we want to see. We're not seeing the fruits of our labor. We're not seeing the numbers that we want to see. We're not seeing the income that we want to see. A lot of times we get discouraged and we move away from the things that God has called us to do simply because we're moving by sight and not by faith. So that basically means when God comes to bless you, let him find you doing what it is that he has called you to do. Like right now, I'm filming videos. in this room, y'all. I've been filming videos for a long time. Like, I was faithful filming videos on my iPhone 6. Faithful filming videos on my iPhone 11. Faithful filming videos on my iPhone 12. Faithful filming videos on my iPhone 13. And now I actually have a camera. And when God comes to bless me, he's going to find me doing exactly what it is that he called me to do. Moving by faith and not by my own sight, not by my own will. So, you know, food for thought. Food for thought. This I learned myself reading the Bible when they were asking about why God speaks in parables. And God speaks in parables because we cannot understand his word without him. We have to ask the Holy Spirit for revelation or for understanding. So he did that specifically because, like I said, we need to call on him to understand the things of his kingdom. And this ties into the next point that I have, number 8. The mysteries of the kingdom aren't given but granted. So these understandings, these words, whatever it is that he's speaking to you through his word, is not given. It's not given to you. It's not something that's just like, here you go. It's granted through you asking and through you speaking to Holy Spirit. So that was that blew my mind, guys. Like, the kingdom is not given to just everybody. It's granted when you ask or when you fellowship with God and Holy Spirit. Number 8, your obedience in God is directly correlated with your humility. Y'all, that was wild, because you don't even realize sometimes that your humility is not where it needs to be. Like, it's as simple as you needing a ride somewhere and God told you to ask somebody specifically for a ride to get to where you need to go or to get things done, and you're like, oh, I don't want to be, you know, a burden. I don't want to, you know, that's Josh. I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to bother people or whatever the case may be. And look at my food, guys. Thank you. Oh my God.
Tinga, if you want to sponsor us.
So I'm almost done. I'm on number 9.
Alright.
So yes, if your humility is not where it needs to be, then you can't be obedient to God in everything that he tells you to do. And you need to humble yourself before the Lord to be able to listen, to even have an ear to listen, because it may be something that you don't want to do. Y'all, not my mom calling me. Oh my God. The Holy Spirit may ask you to do something that you feel is completely uncomfortable, out of your zone, just not like you. May ask you to pay for somebody's meal, pray for somebody, and if your humility is not in the right place, then you won't be able to listen to God and receive the blessings that come behind listening to him. And number 10, this, I made sure I put this last because, y'all, this spoke to me so much. So we were having a study over Zoom, and my apostle was saying that a lot of times as Christians, we expect God, when he's speaking to us something super big, something like, you listen to me, like, you know, that type of something big, grandiose. And a lot of times that's not necessarily how it works. You may hear that sometimes, and sometimes you may not. Like, you may hear a low voice, and I'm going to explain after I finish saying this. But I have never heard this in church, and sometimes I question if the Lord was actually speaking to me, because I was like, I didn't hear this big voice. Like, how do you just know that it's God? But when you're in his word and you have his mind on the matter, you're led by your inner witness. That completely blew my mind. Like, I have never heard anybody say that and just confirm the way in which you can hear from the Lord, because I swore God did not speak to me. I swore he just was like not gonna answer my prayers. But a lot of answers and advice that I give people is exactly what it would say in the Bible. And I don't speak or give my advice anytime I feel as if my opinion is going to be biased, or that the Lord is not telling me to speak on a matter. So it's just crazy to actually hear that and be confirmed like the Lord actually is speaking to me. And just because I don't hear some big voice and thunder and lightning bolts coming down, that does not mean that I am not favored by the Lord. So that is it for today's video. Don't forget to hit like, comment, subscribe, join the goal. Gang, gang, gang. We live over here in SO period. Sis, if you ain't got no goals, set some, achieve some. The time is now. If you needed a message or a memo, it's me. Let's get it done. 2023, we're coming after everything that God has ordained for us, and don't you ever forget it. So yeah, y'all, that's it for today's video, and I will see you guys next week with a new video.